I spoke about, I think it was Monday night when I was speaking here last, or Sunday night, about my experiences on Motzi Shabbos with the non-war and the light show. That, yeah, there was a discussion. Did we experience a miraculous salvation, or was it all just a setup? And unfortunately, aside from the evidence that was around beforehand, more evidence has come to light. And now basically all the relevant parties are admitting it was a setup all along. So we're basically seeing the lies, being shown to be lies. More often with I guess a greater rate now. It happens quite often, and it happens in almost a shocking manner. We see the lies for what they are. This is similar to what we saw at the Exodus of Chol Elohim Mitzrayim at Shefatim. God will mete out justice, do justice to the gods of Egypt, the false gods of Egypt. They'll kill the firstborn and destroy their gods. The false gods are the biggest form of falsehood in this world. So all the falsehoods, they're represented by the false gods or vice versa. The false gods represent the falsehoods. We create these gigantic gods, these big symbols of the various lies we like to tell ourselves. Did any of you guys ever hear of Rachel Corrie? You may remember Rachel Corrie. No, it might have been before you were born. Rachel Corrie was, as James Taranto, who was at the time, I think he was the editor of the editorial page at the Wall Street Journal when it was a little bit more right wing. He referred to Rachel Corrie as not a peace activist, as she styled herself and as others called her, but as a terror advocate. Rachel Corrie was one of those leftist do-gooders from the Western world who she came to protest something the IDF was destroying with bulldozers in Gaza. Okay, of course, obviously for good reasons. And she played chicken with a bulldozer and got run over. And I think it was well attested to. Her pictures were online. She got run over by a bulldozer, and she became a martyr for the so-called peace cause. I remember arguing with a friend of mine saying she was a peace activist and she was murdered. One, she wasn't a peace activist; she was a terror advocate. Secondly, she played chicken with a bulldozer, and it could very well have been that the bulldozer driver didn't even see her. That was also what the investigation showed. And eventually, her parents even came to Israel and had tried to sue the state or to sue the IDF for bringing about her daughter's death, a civil trial. And of course, their case was dismissed, or I think they lost their case very handily. But the point was, she became I get like I said, their martyr. Now, what is the point? Well, I was trying to say she like everybody knew she was an advocate for the side of the evil one. She was a terror advocate, not a peace activist. How do we see this? So we see this just this week when news got out that Israel was being attacked, so to speak, by the Iranians. They were shooting everything they had at them. So the ceasefire types, what were they saying? They suddenly came cheering. Yes, they're not in favor of a ceasefire. They're not in favor of a two-sided ceasefire or the end of hostilities, whether there should be actual peace in this world. They want to harm Israel. It always was. This is the proof. This is showing it. Okay? The enemy, those who say peace, peace at all costs, no. They only want Israel to put down its weapons. They want the Jews to die. And that lie has been shown to be what it is. Okay? Another idea about the lies, that the original, I guess, start of this war on Shmini Atzeres, that was staged, just like what we found out about concerning early Sunday morning, late Motzei Shabbos. It was staged. And just like we hear now about backroom deals about what's going to continue in Gaza, will the enemy be destroyed? No, but it means we have to let the enemy in Iran stay around. And that's exactly what like I said, I don't call them leadership, I call them the regime, what they're doing. So it's becoming more and more apparent, for those at least who are looking, that whatever happened on Shmini Atzeres was planned. And basically, it was planned to the extent, or allowed to happen. It was supposed to be just let them blow off a little steam, let the Arabs have a little fun, cross the border a little bit and do this. And the security people, the military heads who signed off on such a thing, were just surprised by the extent to how far it went. It got a little bit out of hand. And that's why there was no immediate official reaction and all the other terrible things that happened. So we see the lies. What we've found out this week about everything being a show has shown us that it's all been a show until this point.